Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dhami with your 13 Now update on this Monday, March 11th. And we start with a really sad update in the case of that missing baby who died. She was barely 11 months old. Her name was Halo Brenton. Her disappearance in Schenectady sparked an Amber Alert sent out yesterday. Most of us got that on our phone yesterday morning. We just got an update from police and from authorities. And here's what the Schenectady County District Attorney had to say about the latest.
This morning, an autopsy was conducted by Dr. Eng at Ellis Hospital. Based upon his findings that this child died of exposure and hypothermia, the decision was made to file additional charges. The baby was dropped into this utility tunnel from a height of about 8 feet to the bottom of the tunnel where there was standing water. The baby did not drown. The baby was in the water, which came up to her chest and around her head, but not her face. Her mother was found in a GE security building, which was heated.
That was the Schenectady County District Attorney Bob Carney giving us the details of the autopsy results on that baby and also new details on where she was found on the campus of GE. My colleague Stella Porter was at that news conference, and she has new details. In addition to that, to the mother now facing charges. Stella, she was in court this morning.
Sabrina, she was in court this morning on a manslaughter charge. We now know she's also charged with depraved murder. It's a special charge for someone who's over 18 and causes the death of someone who is under 11 years old. So that charge has now been added to what she was facing before in the death of her daughter, Halo Brenton. So that 24-year-old mother was charged this morning. Her name is Persia Nelson. And we now know that she is also facing that murder charge. Police at this news conference talked about how they went from basically an investigation of a trespasser to then a massive search with canines and drones where they were looking for a baby. So all they could tell us was that this woman was allegedly trespassing on the GE campus, then didn't know where she was, wasn't able to tell security where she was, but apparently told them that she had lost her baby and wasn't sure where that baby was. So that set off a massive search, and the search stretched into the morning, eventually led to this Amber Alert, and ultimately led to police officers from Schenectady Police Department finding this baby down a pipe. They said it was about an 8-foot drop into this pipe that had standing water in it, where they found Halo Brenton. This baby brought her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead yesterday afternoon. So not many details police could provide us on why the mother was supposedly incapacitated in some way, didn't know where she was, and how she exactly ended up on GE's campus. So police are working on all that right now. DA Robert Carney says they're working on indicting her in county court, so that's going to be the next step as this case progresses, Sabrina.
It's just so sad, Stella, and I know our viewers have been reaching out, sharing obviously their heartbreaking feelings about this. And the police chief spoke to that as well at the news conference that just wrapped up about how hard this has been for him and the investigators working on such a sad case like this.
Yeah, my colleague Kumi Tucker asked how difficult it has been, knowing that there was this 1-year-old, just under 1-year-old out there somewhere, and police had no idea where she was and spent around 12 hours searching for her, and ultimately found her, obviously not in good shape. So, the chief talked about just how difficult that's been for the department.
She sadly died of exposure and hypothermia. Stella, thank you for joining us for a few minutes. I know this is tough for us as reporters to cover as well. It's heartbreaking for us. So thank you for doing this for us today. I know it's important information that everyone really wants to know what happened to this little girl. So we appreciate you taking some time. We'll see with you live at 4 on News Channel 13.
Thank you, Sabrina.
All right, let us turn to the weather right now. Another big story today is, of course, that wind. We have a lot of power outages still. Meteorologist Juanique Martinez is joining us from the Weather Center right now. Juanique, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. I did just take a look at the latest power outage numbers from National Grid, and it looks like we still have a few thousand out. Albany County, 4,700, Saratoga County, 1,900, and that wind is not dying down anytime soon.
It's not. The winds are going to be gustiest as we head throughout the afternoon. So those localized power outages, unfortunately, are still possible as we head throughout the course of the day. Winds are still gusty right now, coming in from the northwest. Right now in Amsterdam, winds are gusting up to 31 miles per hour.
And you see that camera jumping around.
Yeah,
wow.
You can see those cameras that we've been seeing all day, Sabrina, have just been moving around constantly because of those winds.
So go ahead, Juanique. Sorry, I just noticed that it was jumping around. I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, for sure. And, like I just mentioned, winds will very much be the story as we head throughout the day. And we still do have wind advisories in place. Temperatures are in the 30s, but it feels even colder out there. And this wind advisory expires at midnight. So that just shows how long we are expecting gusty winds. Winds will still be breezy tomorrow, not as breezy, only gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour. But look at these wind gust speeds right now. Currently 45 mile per hour winds in Albany, 32 in Bennington, 47 in Pittsfield, 40 in Medusa, and 37 right now in Kinderhook. So with these colder temperatures and these strong wind gust speeds, it feels even colder. Right now it feels like 34 in Albany, 32 in Kinderhook, 21 in Pittsfield, and 24 in Bennington. And we started the day on a cold note with wind chills in the teens. Now, wind chills will still be very cold as we go throughout the afternoon. Notice those wind icons are still very breezy all the way until 8 p.m. It will feel like the lower 30s into the afternoon, feeling like the upper 20s as we go throughout the night with mostly clear skies. And tomorrow, expect a better day. But here are these wind gust speeds, winds gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour all the way through the afternoon. We are seeing the gustiest of those winds with still winds tapering off into the evening, but still at 30 miles per hour as we near the overnight hours. Tonight, overnight lows drop below freezing with lows below that 32-degree range, mostly clear, windy still with winds gusting in from the northwest. As I mentioned, winds will still be breezy tomorrow coming in from the northwest, but not as breezy. And tomorrow will be a milder day with temperatures topping out in the lower 50s. A warm up is on tap as we go throughout the week, reaching the lower 60s, partly sunny and dry on Wednesday, and the lower 60s on Thursday. And we'll have another disturbance that will work in, bringing us rain showers later in the day. We'll have more scattered showers expected on Friday, and unfortunately, at the moment on St. Patrick's Day, looking like a wet one.
Okay, well, hopefully we have a few days maybe to iron that out. The sun outside is deceiving, Juanique, because you look outside and it looks beautiful, and then you step outside and it's frigid with that wind.
Yeah, I agree. That sun is really not helping to warm us up much because of those strong winds, but at least tomorrow we'll have a warmer day.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for the update. We'll see you on air live at 4.
Thank you, Sabrina.
I want to show you some video that our crews got in Troy today with the wind. That was National Grid crews repairing power lines that came down. That was Spring Avenue right in the downtown area of Troy, and working to repair many utility poles that have come down as we continue to deal with this up and down weather. We also have new details that we continue to learn on that military helicopter crash that killed 2 National Guard members with local ties to our area. This was really sad news that came out over the weekend. We have learned a 3rd person who was severely injured also has ties to our area. This crash happened near the southern border Friday. The UH Lakota crashed while conducting aviation operations near the Rio Grande City in Texas. Sadly, Guard members John Gracia and Casey Frankowski were killed. Frankowski was a Rensselaer native, a graduate of Columbia High School, the daughter of retired Rensselaer Police Chief James Frankowski. John Gracia III joined the state police in 2022 and was assigned to Troop G. And we have sadly learned that a 3rd person who was injured, severely injured in this, also with local ties, Jacob Pratt, is a graduate of Rensselaer High School, and News Channel 13's Dan Levy has been in touch with Pratt's family, and he will have an update on his condition starting live at 4. That is your 13 Now update on this busy Monday. I'm Sabrina Dhami. We'll see you on air on News Channel 13 starting live at 4.